So let me just set the stage for this conversation we are having now. Globally, humanity produces about 2 billion tons of waste daily, but we are in Nakuru County, county number 32, the latest cities in Kenya. Now, here, more than 46%, just about 46% of the population lives in urban areas. Everyone generates 0.85 kgs of waste every day. So there's some level of personal responsibility in terms of waste management. But at the same time, out of that, 56% is organic waste and only 17.5% is recyclable. But the conversation we're having here is how do you form a circular economy through waste management right here in Nakuru? And I have my guests who will run me through this conversation. Plus, the audience as well will pose their questions to the panelists at the same time, and they get their answers in real time. You can also send in your questions at Trevor Mbija at Citizen TV Kenya. Use the hashtag Monday Report. Let me start by introducing my guest from my immediate right. Thank you for making time. Dr. Nelson Mara is a CCM, Water, Environment, Energy, Climate Change and Natural Resources, Nakuru County. It's a long title. Thank you for making time.
Thank you.
Asante sana for coming in. We have Christine Babu, who is a Program Manager, KCIC, Kenya Climate Innovation Center. Thank you very much for making time.
Thank you for having me.
We have Joseph Kopejo, is a NEMA County Director of Environment at Nakuru County. Thank you very much for making time.
Thank you for having me.
And last but not least, we have Cynthia Wairimu, co-founder, Texas Waste Papers. Thank you very much for making time.
Thank you for having me.
Now, Dr. Nelson, I'll start with you directly on this. We do know now that the Sustainable Waste Management Act 2022 is now law. But what specific legislation is Nakuru County developing to enforce sustainable waste management?
Thank you, Trevor. Maybe allow me first to welcome everybody here on behalf of our Governor, Her Excellency Susan Keka. I wish to welcome all of you to this forum today. Welcome to Nakuru County, the county of unlimited opportunities. Why are we saying Nakuru is a county of unlimited opportunity? Of course, it's the only county with the 6 lakes. It's the only county with the 2 calderas. In terms of floriculture, potato, we are also leading. In terms of hospitality and tourism, I think we are so far beating Mombasa. So the opportunities are there. That's why we are saying unlimited opportunity. And of course, Trevor, in terms of environment cleanness, of course, we are the best. We are the cleanest. We have retained that position for that long. Thank you. So going back to the question that you have asked, yes, waste management or sustainable waste management bill act has come into being, and currently as Nakuru County, we are trying to look into our existing laws and policies. We have about 2 or 3 existing bills or acts in the county. We have Nakuru Waste Management Act of 2021. We have the policy of 2021. We have Nakuru Climate Change Act of 2021. And what we are currently doing, just to align ourselves with the current Sustainable Management Act, is that we are in the process of reviewing our existing act, and so that we have already identified some existing gap. There are emerging issues that needs to be looked into. And Trevor, allow me at this point maybe to explain the model at which we are using to collect waste in our county. We have entered into a kind of a PPP with the CBO. Currently, we have zoned the county into 93 zones, whereby each and every zone is allocated to a CBO for a period of 2 years. That is through an MOU with the county government or with the Department of Environment. So the CBO, they call themselves Nakuru Waste Service, Nakuru Waste Service Collectors. Each and every of the CBO collects waste from the residents or from the estates, of course at a fee, and then they transport the waste to the dump site, and of course they pay the tipping fee, which is about 350. Depending on the lorry. And Trevor, we are looking at currently Nakuru County, we are producing around 1,344 tons of waste per day, of which you have said correctly, about 70 organic and around between 17 and 20 recyclable. So then it means also that not all the waste end up in the dump sites. About 70-80% ends up in the dump site. Of course, because of what is happening in the rural areas and all that. So what we are doing as a county government is to ensure that our existing legislation actually are aligned with the current sustainable management.
What
bill.
gaps have you seen so far?
One, of course, if you look at EPR, what it entails, the issue of segregation at the source. That one is one of the biggest, or is a big gap that we have identified, because the arrangement which was there initially, the element of segregation at the source wasn't well captured. But now it's an issue that really we need to look into. But again, the challenges we have a community of the community depending their livelihood depends actually of what arrive at the dump sites. So we still have to do a lot of even create awareness, negotiate with those people, give them an alternative source of livelihood, because we can't just wake up one day and say that now we are segregating everything at source so that nothing arrive or nothing reach at the dump site. Yet there are a number of people who depends on what reach at the dump sites. So one of the major gaps that we've noticed is that issue of segregation, but we are working on it. Already we have a partner that we are piloting in Kivumbini and Kiamunyi. We are piloting the issue of segregation. We have already provided the bins, the 3 bins in the various in Kivumbini and Kiamunyi area, just to see how it will go.
So where do you draw the line between sustainable waste management and sustaining livelihoods, like what you just said in the dump site?
Yeah, this one actually, to draw a line is a bit tricky, because one depends on the other one. When we talk of sustainable waste management, then there is no way you can separate that with sustainable lives. But we are only talking of, as a county government of Nakuru, we want, this space of waste management has been more informal. But now what we are saying, we want to bring some sanity. We want to make it more formal. That's what will happen. Okay. So if we make it formal, then we will know who is doing what, where, and who is doing what. And more so now, when we are talking of talking of circular economy, we are saying everybody throughout this chain will be able to benefit.
Okay. Yeah. Let me bring in Christine on this. And Christine, beyond general business incubation, which is what you've dealt with in a lot, how else does KCIC then address the major environmental challenges in the country?
Yeah, thank you, Trevor. Allow me to start by introducing the Kenya Climate Innovation Center, which is a leading Pan-African organization addressing the climate change challenge at the intersection of innovation and entrepreneurship. We are on a mission to catalyze climate entrepreneurship, envisioning sustainable enterprises and climate-resilient communities across Africa. At KCIC, we support climate-friendly solutions in 6 sectors, that is renewable energy, circular economy, water management, agriculture, nature-based solutions. And we provide our support services using a holistic approach, integrating innovative financing, market strengthening, business advisory, technical assistance, policy and advocacy, and research. And what this does is it creates a robust and solid enabling environment where these enterprises can thrive and scale in. Over the last 12 years, we've been able to support 3,500 entrepreneurs, and these entrepreneurs have created 58,000 jobs and mitigated 592,000 CO2 emissions. And as an organization, we've also been able to facilitate 73 policy dialogues in Kenya. In terms of geographical coverage, we are in 6 countries, that is Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, Nigeria, and Ghana. So one of the flagship programs through which the Kenya Climate Innovation Center is advancing the circular economy agenda in Kenya is a sustainable waste innovation for a future in transition, which we call the SWIFT program. Looking at the statistics, only 7.2% of the global economy is circular, which is a staggering gap. And that's why we designed the SWIFT program, to tackle this staggering gap through designing key interventions that then can foster circular solutions in Kenya. So the SWIFT program, which is supported by the IKEA Foundation, runs for 3 years. We are in our second year of implementation, having supported 110 wastepreneurs in Kenya. We have entrepreneurs like Baustaka in Mombasa, EcoCharge in Kajiado, Jijenge in Nairobi, Safi in Garissa. So every county is represented in Kenya. They are in different business models along the waste value chain, starting from efficient waste aggregation to plastic recycling to organic composting across the waste value chain. So what are we trying then to achieve in the SWIFT program? 3 things. Number 1 is building the capacity of the 110 wastepreneurs. And this is in terms of scaling their revenues, growing their revenues. We are targeting to have 10 million USD in terms of increase in revenues. We are also looking at diversion of the waste from the landfills. And the target here is 3 million tonnage of waste being diverted over the period of 3 years. More to that is also attracting investors for the wastepreneurs, because the funding we have at KCIC might not be enough, but when we join hands with the investors in the ecosystem, then this is possible. Secondly,
yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. Secondly, is in terms of job creation, and here we are looking at decent job creation with a target of 6,000 decent jobs created. We are not only looking at quantity, we are also keen on quality. And that's why the decent job is very key to us. According to the ILO definition of a decent job, we are looking at dignifying the sector, fair pay, freedom of expression. And thirdly is also on matters policy. We are working with 5 counties, Nakuru included, Mombasa, Nairobi, Uasin Gishu, and Kisumu. So why the 5 counties? It's because they generate the highest volumes of waste in Kenya. And our thought process is, if we are able to transform these 5 counties, then this change can be translated countrywide. So in terms of direct support, Trevor, one of our support area that has really worked is the access to finance component. Yeah. And how this is curated, we have the incubation category and the acceleration category. So under the incubation category, these are the early stage companies, the wastepreneurs. We give them a matching grant capped at 10,000 USD. And then the accelerator, we give them a repairable grant that is capped at 40,000 USD. Why is this important in the waste management sector? It's because the waste management sector is highly capital intensive. And so this fund really supports them to buy machinery. For example, the crushers, the balers, the washing lines, because then this is the only way they will be able to turn waste into value. Again, the funds would go into working capital. The funds would go into buying trucks for logistics. And just to illustrate, from a survey that we initiated recently, those that were able to receive this support were able to increase their waste that they are diverting from the dump site 7 times because of such support.
Okay. We'll come into how you decide who to support and why they're capping at 10,000 USD, which is about $1 million, and 40,000 USD, which is about 4 million. But let me first bring in Kopejo on this. Kopejo, you know, there's something that Dr. Mara mentioned earlier on. This is the ERP, the Extended Producer Responsibility, being the cornerstone of this new act. So how now is NEMA operationalizing this in the Rift Valley, and how can producers be compelled to support the collection and recycling of waste materials?
Thank you very much, Trevor, for having me. Before I come to your question, please allow me to highlight briefly the journey that we have traveled as a country on this issue of waste management. We all recall that waste was under the municipal councils or the local governments at some time before the 90s. And the model then was just linear solid waste management model involving just basic collection and direct dumping. But we moved again, sometimes in 90, after the enactment of the Environmental Management and Coordination Act, that is EMCA, that besides creating the National Environment Management Authority, also brought over the issue of waste management to environmental, as an environmental issue. And therefore, it went to at a national scale, and therefore, it gained more prominence. And therefore, the focus now shifted from wanting to be linear to be circular. But after we promulgated our constitution in 2010, the issue of waste management reverted back to county governments, which have been implementing this issue as a devolved function. But NEMA retained the overall mandate of policy and standards, and that is what we have been guiding the county governments to do over time. We started by bringing in the National Solid Waste Management Strategy in 2015, that now guided on the issue of Sustainable Waste Management Act. But finally now we now have the extended producer responsibility regulations that we are now enforcing as an authority. And there are important and key highlights of this regulation. One of them is that the regulation intends to place responsibility, direct responsibility on waste generators. And therefore, anybody generating waste or importing material that will end up as waste in our environment, or has packaging materials that will end up as waste in our environment, is now required by the regulation to take direct responsibility. The second highlight of that regulation is that it is promoting private-public partnerships, whereby the private people or entrepreneurs have now an opportunity to come into the ecosystem of waste management and generate money. But more importantly, the regulation also seeks to monetize waste management so that enterprises can thrive in that ecosystem. But there are envisaged shifts that will definitely come and are required by the regulation. And the highlight of that shift will be in the form of mandatory waste segregation at source. And this is supposed to support the entrepreneurs that will now be investing in that ecosystem to be able to uptake whatever waste is available for management and to make money out of it in an easier way. And therefore, we require that from the source, the waste is segregated, it is transported as still being segregated, so that anybody wanting to access the materials will now access the material easily for other waste management initiatives. And this is a major shift, because now it will support the entire circular economy ecosystem of waste management. And in the process, people will find the business opportunities that they will uptake within that area. And we expect that going forward, more people or more individuals, more interested entrepreneurs will come into the business and uptake whatever waste is available now as a resource, not for dumping, but for recycling, for reuse, and other initiatives that will provide incomes for them.
I was speaking earlier on to some of the people who are now in the audience, and they were telling me that NEMA stands accused of selective enforcement of waste management. If it is a big company, they're releasing effluent into the streams and the water and the lakes, you don't say anything. But if it is a mama mboga, then it's easy to pick up and enforce waste management. Why is that the case?
That is not the true position. The true position is that NEMA applies the law equally to everybody and every company. The only consideration is, are you going against the required law? But of course, perhaps the more visible area is where we are dealing directly with the local people. But we also have interventions that have directly impacted on businesses. For example, now it is mandatory that all businesses must register with a non-producer responsibility organization. And this is a requirement for all businesses without any discrimination. So the law applies equally to everybody, and that will be the norm. Okay. Even now and going forward.
All right. Cynthia, walk us through your organization, which is Texas Waste Papers. What have you been doing? How did you get the funding? And what gaps are you seeing when it comes to waste management policy?
Thank you, Trevor, for this opportunity. So like I said, I'm from Texas Waste Paper. I'm a co-founder. And we are a waste management company that collects, sorts, and segregates waste for resale to recyclers for further recycling. So at the moment, we will call ourselves as reclaimers. So the main challenge that we get from the county at the moment, I would say, is the double licensing. We are licensed both by the county and the national government. Another thing would be lack of awareness from the locals. They do not take waste as a resource, so that's a challenge. I would say also lack of funding, and that's one of the challenges that we face as waste collectors, because as you know, we are informal. Most of the business are informal, and in conjunction with that point, I would say the de-risking factor for funding, because right now we as an industry, we are not able to access loans from the banks are not supportive to the industry. Yeah.
We keep talking about a circular economy. What drew you to waste management as a business option? And does it have money? Many of them were asking me, does takataka iko na pesa?
I would say, to start with, the takataka ni mali. It is a resource in itself. So, and it's an opportunity I would encourage many people to check into, to be able to tap into it. Okay. Because it doesn't require it is not something taught. Yeah. It's something anyone can do to reclaim waste. So that's one of the advantage of this business. And another thing would be, okay, sorry, can you go?
Yeah, we were just talking about how much you can generate from waste management. What drew you to it? Is it a passion? Is it someone who introduced you to it? Yeah. How did you end up there? I
would say it's passion. And then, apart from passion, was the unemployment bit of the, as you know, unemployment is a major issue in the country and in Nakuru County. So I saw it as an opportunity to make money. Okay. So that's why I ventured into it.
All right. Yeah. Dr. Mara, there's something she's just raised, the double licensing. How then do you incentivize the private investment sector to come in when she's here saying that double licensing is one of the pinpoints for them?
Thank you. I think for sure under our governor, Excellency the governor, we are trying in all ways to make sure that we have given incentive to investors who come to invest in this space of waste management. And I think what we have done, if you look at the licenses that or the license fee that we charge, actually it's reasonable. I think it's about 2,500 per year, which is very, very reasonable. We do also connect the investors to the potential funders, people who can fund them. There are so many opportunities, and we connect them to our partners who can fund them. And I'm sure at Trevor, quite a number of them have benefited through that kind of relationship or collaboration with the county government. And just like you said earlier about Nawascol being owned by the county government, we have developed a number of proposals on behalf of Nawascol and other investors. So what we are doing as a county government is to make sure that one, we are fair in when it comes to the issue of license, when it comes to the issue of any other fee, and of course we also provide at times places where they work, and we also of course giving them a political will is very, very important. Make sure that the working environment is good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I have to take a quick break. When we come back, I'd like to hear from the SWIFT plan. How do you identify people to fund? If they're all here and they have innovative ideas, where do they go? Do they give you the proposal? Do they call you? Do they text? We'll talk about that in just a bit. And also, I'll open the floor for questions from the audience here to ask you direct questions. I know most of them will go to Nema, but we'll deal with that in just a bit. Keep your views coming at Trevor Mbiji at Citizen TV Kenya. Use the hashtag Monday Report. See you in just a bit. A pathway to Nakuru's circular economy through waste management. Let me go straight to the audience who have a lot of questions. We'll take them in fours. They'll answer, then we'll take another 4 sets of questions. Yes, sir. Start with your name and your question, please.
Thank you, Trevor. My name is Godfrey Gitau, Harbarufu Godi. I work Chairman Climate Change, Nakuru Town East, and also service provider, and Agefaigo Youth Group under Naswama umbrella. My question goes to Madam Mbaru. How can KCIC support aggregator and waste collection to engage in waste value addition?
How can KCIC support?
Aggregator and waste collection to engage waste value addition in Nakuru City.
Thank you. Take that question. Let me pass the microphone. Yes, sir. You already have the microphone. Yes, go ahead.
Thanks, Trevor. I'm Javan Chiteri, Chairman, Kenya Land of Residents Association, that's Kara, Nakuru County. First, before I ask my question, I want to echo what Wazir said. As Kara, we partnered with the county government and with partners from DEPA. DEPA is Danish Environmental Protection Agency and the Danish Embassy. And we've been involved in the training of the residents on matters to do with waste management. And in the process, we piloted in 2 estates, that's Kiamunya and Kivumira, as he has said. And the pilot project is being done in Nakuru, Nairobi, and Mombasa. So we're in the process of supplying waste bins in the households to ensure that waste segregation is done at the household level. And we intend to roll it out for the next 3 years, that we're able to cover quite a vast part of Nakuru County. Now to my question, it goes to the climate docket, and it goes like this. How can Nakuru County ensure that its climate action plans, particularly the sustainable energy and climate change action plan, are not merely shelved, but actively guide grassroots actions for a sustainable future? Thank you.
Grassroots action. That goes to Dr. Mara, I believe. Yes. Yes, pass the microphone. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Kwa majina naitwa Gerard Kilonzo, chairman wa Wakulima Market hapa Nakuru, ambapo tuko na traders more than 4,000, na katika hiyo population ikiwa kubwa hivyo ni kumaanisha ya kwamba waste iko juu sana pale. Kwa hivyo swali langu itaenda kwa Dr. Mara. Namuuliza ya kwamba juu pale Wakulima Market kila siku kuna skip zaidi ya 4 zinatolewa pale za uchafu. Ni binu gani ama plan gani ako nayo ya kuhakikisha ya kwamba waste katika Wakulima Market imekuwa minimal ama imeenda to almost 0%? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Just pass the microphone. Yes, madam.
Thank you for this opportunity. My name is Esther from Njoro. I work with Campo Limited, a youth-led private company that manufactures organic fertilizer and animal protein from...
Slightly raise your voice a bit. Yes.
It's a youth-led private company that manufactures organic fertilizer and animal protein from organic waste using the black soldier fly technology. And we intend to recycle over 60 tons of per month of organic waste from Nakuru Wakulima Market by December 2026. However, we have a challenge in transportation. So my question goes to Dr. Mara. And is there any possibility of collaboration where maybe the county government can allocate us a space within the Gyoto dumping site to enable us cut on transportation costs? Thank you.
Okay. Let's answer those 4 first, and then I'll come to you. Just hold the microphone. Yes, I'll start with you, Mara. There's quite a number of questions from Esther, Gerald, and Javan. One of them is the possibility of collaboration, and can they get space in Gyoto? I'm starting with Esther.
Thank you, Esther. Yes, there is a possibility of us collaborating with you, and actually we do encourage, as a county government, encourage investors, as said earlier, to come in and we talk so that at least they invest in this space of waste management. And actually through either MOUs or PPPs, we are able to collaborate. Also, county government has a fund, that is the Enterprises Fund, which Her Excellency the Governor is giving out to an organized group. And I think it can also be a possibility. You can look into that so that at least you can be able to benefit from this fund. And if you benefit from this fund, then you can be able probably to get somewhere where you can do that. And on top of that, going forward, we as the county government of Nakuru, we have already purchased 25 acres piece of land in Gilgil for MRF. So going forward, once that one is completed, once that one is operated, then it can also avail an opportunity for you. So mine is just to tell Esther, kindly, you can come forward. We can discuss because that is part of us encouraging our local investors to come in. We also give training as part of incentive, as we said earlier. We connect our investors to partners, train them on issues of management, of waste management, issues of financial management, and even issues of cooperatives and all that. So all these are available for interested investors. On the issue of the person from Kara, that is the issue of climate action plan. How do we just make sure that the climate action plans come to be? We all know, we are all aware that through the FLOCA, we have a grassroots structure, a structure that goes all the way to the grassroots, where we have a WCCP, that is Ward Climate Change Committee in each and every ward of the 55 wards in this county, and those are the people actually who initiate any project in the ward. So, the man from Kara, I think the best thing to do is to get in touch with the WCCP in a particular ward that you come from, because so that the people brought forth the kind of projects that are undertaken. Yeah. So actually the climate action plan is not just a document, but it is a living document.
There's the issue question from Gerald. Wakulima Market.
Bwana Gerard
Yes.
from Wakulima Market. Ya, nakubaliana na wewe kwamba huwa tunaweka ile skipping pale na kutoa asubuhi na pengine kurudisha, na jinsi ambazo tunaweza kuangalia mambo ambayo tunaweza kupunguza yale taka kwa soko. Ya kwanza ni kuencourage wale washikadau ambayo wanaiconvert ama wanaibandilisha into, because actually we are talking of organic waste in that particular market. Na kile tunaweza kufanya ni kuencourage wenzetu kama wenzetu pale kwamba tuingie agreement na wao kwamba wanaweza kuicollect pale directly na kuenda kutengeneza manure. In that way, that is one way ambayo tunaweza kuibadilisha. Jambo la pili, tumeongeza the number of skip bin that this year alone we have bought a number of them, so tutaweza kuongeza pale hiyo skip bin pia. So na pia encourage more people, more watu wengi to encourage waweze kuingia katika ili space ya investing in waste management.
Okay. And there's a question to Mbabu, and this is related to what I was about to ask you. It's a question from Gitau. How do you choose the people that you support, and is it possible to support his organization? How does the SWIFT program work?
Yeah, yes, indeed. We support aggregators and the wastepreneurs who want to get into value addition. So what happens is there's a public call for application that is open to the public. It's rolled out, and then you express your interest. At the moment, the SWIFT program specifically, there is no call for application that is open, but we have other opportunities. When you check our website at kenyacic.org, you will get a clean tech competition that is targeting youths. You'll also get Youth Adapt. You can search in-country Youth Adapt, kenyacic.org. That is another opportunity for youths in the agriculture value chain. So back to your question, Trevor, on now how do we identify the wastepreneurs? We look at innovators who are solving real waste challenges. Like the 110 that we are supporting under the SWIFT program was selected from a pool of over 1,000 applications who underwent a rigorous evaluation process that is usually guided using an eligibility criteria. So we look at various metrics, and these metrics are not just limited to the SWIFT program. They might even cut across some. You will realize some investors will use the same metrics, other development partners. So this might be helpful in your fundraising journey. Number one is the sector. So for the SWIFT program, we were biased on the waste management sector, and specifically the solid sector. The solid waste sector. Why solid? It's because it's generating the highest volumes. Looking at Kenya, we are talking about 3,000 to 4,000 tons, and also the potential of recovery. Solid waste management, you're able to recover recyclables. It's not like liquid waste. Number two is on the climate impact. So you're looking at if your business model is able to impact the climate positively, either in terms of climate mitigation or climate adaptation. So you need to have a strong case and demonstrate how your model is impacting the climate positively. The third one is on innovation. So innovation doesn't mean you have an idea that has never been heard of. It is something simple as a new business model, a new technology. So for example, briquettes. When you hear briquettes, it is something that has been done for a long time. But we have a company like Nawasco who uses fecal matter to make briquettes. That's an innovation. And then employability, I had mentioned about decent jobs. So we are looking at a company that is creating jobs. Presently and even in future, they have potential to create jobs. Revenues also is another factor. You need to have a prototype in place so that then this prototype is making revenues. However small they are, this shows that your model is feasible and it's ready to be scaled. We also look at scalability. How scalable is this model? Can it be replicated in other countries, in other regions, because then that means you have a wider customer base.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let me take 4 more questions as well. There's a microphone. Yes, madam.
My name is Masio Cheng, a youth representative from Kivombini Ward. Kindly, if you allow me, I only have 2 questions.
Yeah, very briefly.
Okay, one, I would like to congratulate our governor. She has a listening ear. We were given a tender. My question goes to Dr. Mara. You have said we have a Waste Management Act of 2021. I think under cap number 35, 38, and 39, it says that the jobs should be left for the vulnerable, youth, and the PWDs. Why is it that we have a nominated MCA in that docket of the waste management? Those people who are collecting waste from the customers. The other one is about the COP29. That one is a bigger one. The key focus on the COP29 was about the methane emissions. And I think currently in Nakuru, we are still emitting a lot of methane. What are you doing in regards to the methane emissions in our county? Thank you.
Okay. Pass the microphone behind you. There's an old man there who wants a microphone. Yes, sir.
I have
then
one
I'll come
here.
to you, madam.
Thank you very much.
Just stay there, sir. We can hear you from there.
Thank you very much.
Just stay there. That's okay.
Yeah.
Just stand there. You're okay.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'm over 60 years, as you asked the paper to say, how old are you? My name is John Kahato Joroge, Organizing Secretary, Naswama Association, Nakuru County. Sisi ndio tulianza mambo ya clean up. Na mimi nashangaa sana kusikia watu wanaongea mambo ya pesa. Pesa tu, economy. When we were working and when we were trying to do this work for correction of garbage in villages is because of people coming to town and having a higher population. We had a problem with the polythene bags. Na wakati tulikuwa napigania polythene bags, sikusikia mtu akiongea mambo ya pesa. Tulienda tukafanya 6 months without asking anybody money. Because we wanted to redeem what we call good governance in health care. And people were suffering malaria because of these plastic bags don't rot. They keep water, and that water mosquito breeds. When you are talking about money, that is second part of it. You forget where we came from and where we have reached about 30 years ago. People have increased in this town more than ever. And people did not want those who were cleaning and those who were correcting garbages in their areas. We had to train them. Now, you go to somebody and tell him, we don't want this garbage in your area here. Anakwambia wewe ndio municipality. Wewe ndio municipality. Wewe ndio unapagiaga mafia hapa. Odoka hapa. Nilikuta wengine kwangu nyumbani. Wewe ndio ulituma mikora kwangu waje waniitishe pesa ya garbage. Nikamwambia hapana. Nilibeba 6 months with my pickup mpaka ikavujika. Na hakuna mtu anilipa pesa. Watu did not know how to keep their city clean. This city is a European city. And that's why we are told the cleanest city in East Africa is Nakuru. Because it was European marked and surveyed and had a lot of care. We came to know the pipes for water, the pipes for sewages, which were put there were very small because they thought that they live here forever. Immediately we got independent, the people poured here and it started making toilet papers, pit latrines, because they could not, even hiyo takataka natoka kwa mitaro kwa sababu ilikuwa dogo. Municipality wakafanya kazi kubwa sana kuondoa hiyo vitu. Na hiyo kitu inamwagwa kwa barabara, inamwagwa pale pegini. Sisi ndio tulikuwa na kokota. Sasa ile kitu nasikia hapa, tunataka, we have to change. I wonder, because it's not only garbage. Even climate change is needed in that, because we also plant trees in Naswama. We have program for planting trees. I have traveled to other countries.
Yeah.
If you cut a tree, you are in jail 6 months.
Okay.
Here you cut a tree and you are not asked by anybody.
All right.
When wanasema maandamano, naona wakifanya matawi hivi, they don't know the breathing of the tree.
Okay.
You see?
Thank you, sir.
We talk of money and
Yeah.
forget human nature.
Thank you.
We want Naswama, kila mtu aingie Naswama, tuseme tutafanya kazi yetu kwa sababu tunajua pale tumetoka.
Asante
sana.
Thank you very much. Very well said. Yes, madam. Yes, young lady. Hold on one second. Let's listen to the young lady, then I'll come to the two of you. Yes.
Oh, my name is Charity Kelsey from Egerton University. I'm a black soldier fly enthusiast. My question goes to Daktari, policy. How is Nakuru County leveraging the policy frameworks that are already existing, like the MCA 1999, the National Environmental Policy of 2013, and the Waste Management Regulation of 2006? These existing policies, how are you linking them to the international regulations? For example, when it comes to circular economy, to tap into the already existing market for these technologies, like the black soldier fly technology. The products are alternative sources of protein, but you find that there are no unclear policies in our country that govern the productions of these alternative sources of protein. So you find that they cannot meet the international markets, the European markets, who have strict regulations, like the EU 2017-893, that is very strict on the production and the type of substrate that you are using. So how far and how are you going to tap into this market by linking these existing frameworks with the national regulations? Thank you.
Thank you, Charity. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, my name is Fred Obande. I'm an academician, and my question goes to all of you. And I just wanted to remind NEMA that the laws are uniform by selection, but the application is selective. For your information. I want to refer to the waste management policy of Nakuru County, which I will have to congratulate you for having come up with such a document, especially part 7 of the policy. Just to say that waste management collection is a wicked problem, and it has has complex interdependencies and unpredictable outcomes. Those 3 factors: wicked problem, complex interdependencies, and unpredictable problem. Then, in that part 7 of waste management policy, there is something that I would wish to recommend that you also include, so that waste management can actually be managed holistically. The question is, as you were coming up with this policy, did you take notice of the informal waste collectors? Do they have ideas? Can they play a very big role in waste management collection? And the fact is that in Kenya, the informal waste collectors play a very big role in waste management, especially in urban areas. But the only problem they're having is that they suffer from stigmatization, and also they lack formal support. We can talk over the Ukulima market that he was talking about, and when you go to this market at 5 p.m. to buy tomatoes or oranges, the first thing that you'll have to do is to sneeze first and cough next.
All right.
And the consequences are very clear.
Yeah.
The garbage. And then the question now for all of you, is there any contribution that can be made so that we can integrate these informal waste collectors in the waste management system? And if so, is there a possibility of improving their working conditions and also ensure their safety and also bring about an increase in the economic opportunities? That's why I'm directing it to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Let's answer those questions first, and I'll start with Nema. And Nema, there's an interesting conversation that has been brought in by Njoroge, the case for personal responsibility, in saying that the population is increasing and the utilities are not expanding. What is your role when it comes to enforcing personal responsibility, which also Fred has mentioned again, that it is selective, enforcement is selective?
Okay. Thank you very much, Trevor. First of all, I want to discount that notion that we apply the law selectively, because that is not the case. But to come to your question, as a regulator, we are involved in this waste management space in terms of setting policy, setting standards, setting guidelines, and more importantly, monitoring and enforcing them. So, so far we have seen a lot of interest in terms of uptake of opportunities in the waste management value chain. And only this last financial year, we have licensed up to 20 individuals and groups that are interested in waste picking, sorting, and segregation and so on for various waste streams. And therefore, we support by availing to them the relevant standards available, and also licensing, monitoring, and also sharing information in terms of awareness and education creation. And therefore, I want to differ slightly with Mr. Njoroge in that we are looking at the money component more than the environment.
Yeah.
But the fact is that where we are at the moment, we are, because of the increase of our population, the amounts of waste are huge. And each and every person has to take responsibility for that, the waste they generate, and eventually how it ends up. And secondly, we must also realize that we are working in an environment where we have to create wealth, to create jobs, and every opportunity available for creating wealth and jobs is welcome. And I can tell you, even looking at other jurisdictions, there are a lot of opportunities in creating wealth and opportunities, jobs in waste management. We are also talking about issues of waste to energy. It's also another area where we can make energy, we can augment our power supply. It's also a business model that people can uptake. And therefore, we, at our present situation, we cannot rule out business enterprises coming into the waste management space to make money, but also at the end of the day, be beneficial to the environment. And therefore, as a regulator, we set the pace, we set the standards, and we monitor and enforce.
Okay.
Yes.
Is there a deliberate plan to integrate informal waste collectors like what Fred has raised?
Yes.
And what does it take for them to be licensed?
Yes. We encourage them to also come into groups. And so far, we have seen quite a number of groups that have formed themselves. And they are interested in trying to formalize whatever they do. Because by formalizing and by coming together, then they are able to pull up resources, they are able to pull up energies, synergize in a way that they can be able to be viable as a business. And therefore, we encourage that. And we have seen a response, even in some informal areas where we have businesses operating. And when they come to us, we support them by guiding them how they can acquire the relevant legal status and documentation, and at the end of the day, they are able to be recognized as a business and operate in that business environment.
Okay. And Dr. Mara, there are a number of questions for you, starting with Ochieng, mentioning Article 35, 38, and 39, where this is supposed to be a select team for vulnerable youth and PWDs, but she alludes that there are some players in that sector that do not fall in that category.
Thank you. Just to give a scenario of the 93 service providers, out of 93, 11 groups are women groups. And then 23 groups belongs to the youth. One group is for people with disability. So that is an indication that we are looking into that. That's an indication that we are compliant to that part of the law. And again, the issue of methane, I think it was raised, that yes, the issue of methane. What I say is, going forward, we have already acquired a land, 25-acre land for MRF. But for now, we are doing quite a lot of maintenance in our dam site to ensure that at least we give some kind of air circulation just to discourage some bit of methane that could be coming up due to that level of accumulation. So we are doing at least something about it. But at the end of the day, what we are looking at is to have the MRF facility functioning.
This material recovery facility you keep referring to as the MRF, when will it be functional?
Mainly, actually, we are looking for partners, people who can go there and start operationalizing the MRF. But even
so let's start with the basics.
Yes.
Have you already bought the land, or
yes,
is when you're looking for it?
We have already bought the land.
Okay.
Yes.
So you have the land.
Yes.
You don't have anyone to build the MRF, the material recovery facility.
We have, but at a smaller scale. But now we are looking at probably empowering a number of groups here, but through maybe partnering, giving them and connecting them with the partners, so that at least they can go there and start working.
Do you have a cut-off point when this needs to be done? What is your target?
We are looking at probably by mid of next year, we should be having one or two, a number of groups working at that MRF.
So mid-2026?
Yes.
Okay. All right. There's another question here from how are you leveraging on existing policies? That was from Charity. How is Nakuru leveraging on existing policies and linking them to the international regulations?
Yeah, maybe before that, Trevor, just to add up on what Mr. Njoroge was saying, basically, actually, we look at three objectives or three components in all this waste management. First, we look at attaining a clean city or a clean county. And as I said, it's for real. Nakuru is the cleanest county. Secondly, we look at it from employment or empowerment point of view. We are saying currently that system alone, we as a county government, we are able to employ over 5,000 people. The whole system, right from collection all the way to the dump sites. We have about 5,000 people employed, and the county government has saved about actually 13 million per month using this model, whereby we have the CBO under the PPP arrangement with the county government collecting solid waste for us. If it was the county government doing it, we could have the whole of 13 million to spend. And again, it's good to note here that cleaning takes place during the night for the CBD. That is where the county government works. This is to give us enough time when the town is not crowded, so that at least they get enough time and to clean up the town. So lastly, we talk of reducing the crime, social crime that has been there for long. And Trevor, I'm saying this because this is what we have seen happening. Just like this, the third devolution government since Excellency Susan Giga came in, we improved the numbers of zone from 73 to 93. That is by around 20. What has that one done? What has that one done? We have really managed to, I don't know whether to use the word, to rescue a number of youths from this social crime, and currently they are really doing a very good job. They are the people who are really running up and around with this kind of solid waste business. So we are saying in it that at least we have managed to empower a number of youth group. So to go back to the issue of what are we doing, I'd said earlier that we actually currently reviewing We are reviewing the existing policies and laws in the county government. But again, I want to welcome Charity and anybody else. The issues to do with legislation is dynamic. These are dynamic. Things are coming. Emerging issues are coming day after day. So we welcome also opinion from various groups so that at least we can beam up these laws that we are reviewing.
Okay. And let me bring in Christine on this. Christine, listening to the people here before I go back to them to give you the questions, what are you identifying as the gaps here when it comes to waste management? What do you recommend going forward?
So one of the gaps that I have identified is lack of funding, and through the SWIFT program, I've been able to explain how we are supporting that. And secondly, it's policy gaps. So for us at KCIC and through the SWIFT program, we play a facilitative role. However, my recommendation, even to all the ecosystem players, is we do this together, because the county government might not be able to work alone. But if we come together as development partners, as investors, regulators, then we'll be able to support the county.
Okay. And Cynthia, I have NEMA and the county government here, and you're one of the main policy players in the market right now. What would you want from NEMA and what would you want from the county? This is your chance to ask directly to them. Indio kuomba serikali. Just tell them right now.
Thank you, Trevor. But before I go to that, I wanted to answer the man that said that we are only focusing on the money part of it. I want to, sorry I didn't get to elaborate my answer, but before I even get that money, one thing I've done is I've diverted tons of waste from going to the dump site. And again, I want to, and by that, I'm tackling the growing problem of waste. So I'm a key player of making sure the environment is clean and a greener Nakuru.
Okay.
Yeah, so mine will be the MRF issue. We've had this issue now and again. There's a land, it should be operational, but what is hindering what is hindering them to just say maybe we apply or something, the partners, the key players to apply or do, or maybe so that they can check who qualified to run it, or why are they not releasing it to us?
Okay. So you've never seen a call for proposals from any of you?
For who will operate if it is maybe the shortage of shortage in the technicality part of it. If they can't do it, we have people who can do it.
Okay.
So why are they not giving us that opportunity to start now than later?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a solid question. Also, you can jump into it, and then I'll give you a chance to respond.
Okay. Material recovery facilities are envisaged mainly under the county government.
Yes.
But individuals and groups can also establish their own. Because remember, I said that one of the highlights of the extended producer responsibility regulation is to encourage private public partnerships in waste management. And therefore, it is not only the county government that can establish material recovery facilities. Even individuals interested in establishing one can also establish, provided they go through the legal technicalities of approvals. We can avail the opportunity for them to be able to operate a material recovery facility. And in fact, that is one of the business opportunities available for anybody wanting to take up that opportunity.
Right.
And therefore, the county government is a major player, but it does not preclude any other player interested in the same.
Yeah. Dr. Why haven't you called for a PPP, a public-private partnership, even a proposal for people to join?
Yeah, actually, I think the way we have been looking at it, maybe we are looking at it from a larger scale point of view. But I think following what you've said, I think we'll really need to reconsider that. But again, in terms of infrastructure, I think we are still somewhere, we're still doing some development here and there. Okay. That is about availing the basic infrastructure, water and all that.
All right. Yeah. We're running out of time here, but I'll take another set of maybe 4 questions. Yes, you have the microphone. And then pass the microphone to the person, PWD, at the farthest end. We'll have that representation as well. Let's start with you.
Sawa, shukran Trevor. Langu jina Kimani wa Kimani, mwanasiasa na vile vile mchanganuzi wa masuala ya kisiasa. Kwanza ni kuwashukuru washikadau wote ambao wamehusika kuhakikisha kwamba jiji letu ndilo safi zaidi hapa nchini Kenya. Vile vile waziri wetu na chini ya unahodha wa Gavana Susan Kihika kuhakikisha kwamba kazi iliyoanzishwa na mtangulizi wenu Bwana Lee Kinyanjui mmeiendeleza na kutujengea mandhari mwanana kwa upanzi wa miti, haswa kutoka hapa Menengai hadi pale Barnabas. Hongera. Lakini tahadhari, kwa sababu mgema akisifiwa tembo hulitia maji. Tafadhali msilitie maji tusipate uvundo katika jiji letu la Nakuru. Hakuna mchele uko Saudume. Pale Bodeni, pale Kivumbini, pale Manyani, mliweza kutufanyia jabu mwafaka na jabu nzuri mno. Mkabadilisha yale mabati ya asbestos ambayo yalikuwa yanatuletea sumu. Lakini hamkuweza kuhamasisha wale wenyeji katika maeneo hayo ambayo nimeyataja, kusudi unapata ya kwamba wamejengea mbwa, wamejengea kuku kuyatumia yale mabati ya asbestos, na kisha kama kuna vionyesha wakati huu, utapata mwenyeji pale ameweka kijisufuria, ameweka karai, ameweka doa, ameweka mtungi kuyateka maji ambayo yanatoka kwenye ama yametekwa na yale mabaki ama magofu ya asbestos. Tafadhalini fanyeni jambo.
Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Start with your name. Go ahead.
My names are Professor Hesbon Simon Ogombe, Professor Emeritus, Egre University, European Campus, Engineering and Technology. Mine is more a suggestion, because many questions have been asked, and we rather focus more on the solutions. I suggest there should be an interdisciplinary, cross-county collaboration, and within some county, departmental teamwork to address most of these issues raised here. Because I think when the CS docket is full, the vote may not allow him to cross over to there. So collaboration and teamwork and teaming up also with researchers and academia to tackle some of these international issues. Because laws are there, everything is neat, but two problems make us not move. Okay. Now, in the area of AI, yeah, because that's a new emerging area, you like to know to catch up with us. Is there any possibility of training some of these Gen Zs in the areas of AI, robotics, and sustainable science solutions to enable you handle waste-related issues, be it solid waste management, be it wastewater engineering, be it air pollution, be it ozone layer, be it climate change, all of these together, you need new brains. The curriculum we have in Kenya currently cannot handle this.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Oduora Ndonga, Mr. Trevor.
Sorry, say your name again.
I work with...
What's your name, sir?
Oduora Ndonga. I work with the Nairobi Women's Hospitals, Nakuru branches. My question directly goes to Dr. Mara and the NEMA person. What are you doing? What is the county doing, and especially also NEMA, in reducing the cost of waste management, especially in relation to, one, creating a good culture in Kenya, in Kenyans that prevent unnecessary littering, and two, are there specific also policies that are there in place for the county, and in particular, and NEMA in general, that prevent littering, especially during the wee hours of the night. And then the second question goes again to Dr. Mara and the NEMA. What are the challenges that you face especially when it comes to waste management in rural and semi-rural areas? Thank you.
All right. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Bwana Trevor. My name is Obama. Obama is working for persons with disabilities and also World Climate Champion Planning Committee. Dr. Mara, you are aware that you are the second in command in terms of climate champion in Nakuru County. And you have read to us so good policies and legislations. And I want to refer you to Article 42 of the Constitution, which talks about clean and healthy environment. Or you have talked about segregation of waste, and especially you mentioned Kyoto and Kivumbini. I want to ask you, because you are aware Nakuru County is a city, why is it that Barut Ward, as well as Kapkures, they are not that clean as stipulated, even in the county policy. The issue of disposal is everywhere, and they are not that conducive for human life. Second question goes to Bwana Nema. You are aware that even right now the rain has stopped raining along River Ndarugu towards to Lake Nakuru. It's always plastics. We are talking the protection of our inhabitants. What mechanisms have you put in place to protect our inhabitants along the river catchment as well as Lake Nakuru? To the SWIFT program, how inclusive are you in implementing your project or your program? Bear in mind, leave no one behind, and addressing issues to the vulnerable community, and that is persons with disabilities as well as those who are living with HIV and AIDS. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very concrete questions there. I'll take one final one because we're running out of time. Yes, sir, you have the microphone.
Thank you, Trevor. My question goes to Mara. He said the waste that is being produced in Nakuru, it is only 20% that does not reach dump site. So 80% goes to the landfill there at Kyoto. That place is full of families. So there are people who work there. Because they take their life from that place, that means also the issue of social criminality is also looked at. Now what I'm asking myself is, when these MRF are put in place, who will be the first beneficiaries of them? And also, many people, we are talking of reclaimers and collectors. But at the bottom, we have others, people around the, usually call them chokoras. But for me, I like calling them waste pickers. Those waste pickers, to tell you the truth, if we have no waste pickers, then there are no reclaimers, there are no recyclers, because, for instance, 80% goes to the dump site. So that is to say, that dump site is a big area of raw material, of sourcing raw material. So my question is to Mr. Mara, how is county government, or how can we work with you to integrate the waste pickers? Because we are talking of this circular economy. How can we be integrated and be officially, legally known by everyone? Thank you.
Thank you very much. You didn't say your name. What's your name?
Kanja.
Kanja.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. All right. think we'll answer these questions and then we'll start with closing remarks as well. Yes. Okay. Starting from Kimani. He says you did not sensitize people well enough when you removed the asbestos in Manyani. Now they've used them to build other structures.
Thank you.
And they're now fetching water from
for Kimani, yes, we have taken note of that so that we'll get back and do some more sensitization on the same. On the professor, I think the issue of collaboration, I agree. But now I think the issue of AI, I think this is an emerging issue, and this is advancement in technology, and it will call for all of us to try to fit in that space. So I think basically we will still be looking for collaboration from academic institution and the other technology institutions, so that at least we look into how it could fit. I think it will be something good if we bring in this advancement in technology into integrated into waste management. The issue of Oduor, you talked about what is the difference between rural and semi-rural in terms of waste. Yeah, I think that it's different because if you look at waste characterization, the type of waste found in the rural is not exactly what is found in the urban or in the city. So at times when we say what percentage gets into the dump site, in fact, when you talk of the rural, it is even lower, because in most cases people just get their waste and probably direct to the shambas and all that. So you realize there is that difference. And then the Obama, we have a number of service providers in Barut, and we will just follow up to ensure that we do enforcement where need be, so that at least they can do their work. But you are aware we have a number of them in the world. So I think it's something that we really need to follow up. About Kanja, I think we started by saying that this is something that it's conflict. Even the coming in of EPR, we will not want to implement it within a day, because the whole chain system comprises of a number of players, right from the people who are collecting to the reclaimers, to the waste pickers, to the recyclers, and everybody is in that chain. And as you put it correctly, Kanja, we know we have a number of families that depend entirely on that dump site. So it's actually a lifeline system for some people. And we will not just, as a government, we will not just wake up one day and say, let's go. I think this is something that we will have to really sit together, talk, agree, create awareness, until a point when we will be certain that each and every of us is taken care of. Taken care of how? We want to make sure that the people who are there are probably integrated into this system of MRF. If, for example, our partner Esther decides we agree with Esther to go and start a work in MRF, then we'll be agreeing who else can she goes together with, so that at least at the end of the day, everybody is taken care of. So Kanja, it is something that we will have to look at it critically, ensure that everybody is taken care of.
Okay. Your closing remarks? Because
Thank you.
I want to close as we head that way.
Thank you, Trevor. My closing remarks will be, I wish that we all look at the opportunity that is in waste management in Nakuru. And more so, I also want to encourage people to come and, invest in this space. And secondly, for issue like Nawascol, the products that are in Nawascol, that we have mainly 3 products. We have the briquettes, we have the biochar, and then we have seed balls. So for the briquettes, for example, people sometimes ask whether if they can use it to roast their meat. Yes, there is no smell. Just come and roast your meat using this kind of a product, and you will enjoy it. And then again, for most of us who are doing, we are talking of we want to rehabilitate, we want to do conservation and all that, we want to do reforestation. The best way is to use our seed ball. Seed balls are good because we'll be able to broadcast naturally, and we'll be able to see the products. Okay. So lastly, kindly, for those of us, just in connection with what Kanja said, for those of us who are transiting through Nakuru County, we want to warn them that as they get into Nakuru from up there, they should know that it is illegal to throw litter at any one time, whether you are in a private vehicle or in a public vehicle. Okay. Kindly, we are watching on that.
All right.
Thank
Babu,
you.
There's a question from Obama on how inclusive are you at SWIFT?
Yeah, thank you, Obama, for that question. The SWIFT program is very inclusive. We are at 65%. That is youth, women, and people living with disability. And even as an organization, KCIC, one of our pillars is community inclusion. And so as we design every program, that is usually at the forefront. Okay. In closing, from the conversations today, so to the Westpreneurs and to the aspiring entrepreneurs, our work is being affirmed in the circular economy. So keep innovating, keep adding value to the waste and creating wealth. And to the rest of the players in the waste value chain, there's a lot of work that still needs to be done in matters compliance, policy support, initiating the private-public partnerships. There's an African proverb that says, when the roots are deep, there's no need to fear the wind. So in the context of the Sustainable Waste Management Act that is already grounded in terms of the law, in terms of the structure, and even opportunities, then it is up to us to grow the branches.
Okay, thank you very much. Kopejo, there's a question for you also from Obama in plastic management in Lake Nakuru, and he also said the issue of waste disposal being everywhere in Kapkures. That was actually your question. Yes.
Yes, thank you very much. About what Mr. Odur, I think, said, and to add on what Dr. Mara has said, if you look at the entire Sustainable Waste Management Act and the Extended Producer Responsibility regulations, you realize immediately that this will require a complete shift of how we treat waste, how we think about waste, and how we handle waste. So in terms of littering that happens, this is something that we must work on as individuals. As individuals, we have to rethink completely how we treat every waste that we generate. And therefore, the authority has been on this issue of creating awareness, environmental education and awareness, particularly on the issue of, particularly through education for sustainable development, where we are training all people, children, adults, and everybody to be responsible in the environment. In terms of plastics, you all remember that in 2017 we had a ban of the flimsy plastic bags that were a big menace in our environment. And I'm happy to say that even though we still have a few that are still available in the market, a large percentage of them has been cleared out of the market. We no longer have free, flimsy, single-use plastics being handed out at supermarkets and markets and so on. And therefore, this is something we need to keep working on to make sure that we eliminate this issue of single-use plastics in our environment, because they were causing a major hazard in the environment. In closing remarks, yeah, I want to encourage all of us as individuals, as groups, that waste is not waste until you waste it. It is you who will make that waste, but you can also make it a resource. So the choice is yours. The law is there guiding you on how to do it. The infrastructure is slowly being set up. So as individuals, we should take up these opportunities. Let us not fear to make money out of waste. Waste is not waste until you waste it.
All right. Thank you. Cynthia, closing remarks going forward.
Going forward, yeah. But before I I state my closing remarks, there's someone who has asked about compost manure. My take will be the change of attitude. Trevor, right now as we stand here, we started such an initiative with, I lead women, and we have a self-help group called Eco Warrior, and we had such an initiative because after sorting and segregated, we used to get the organic waste, and then we wondered, where do we take them? We used to take it at Gyoto, but we decided to start making compost manure, and with the one major challenge was the attitude toward organic fertilizer. As you know, it looked like soil. So, and previously we had very controversial issues around fertilizer and soil, the relationship between fertilizer and soil. So mine would be to encourage people. There are people making organic fertilizer, genuine one, and compost manure. There are people making it, so they should embrace it. They should start embracing it. And to answer to Obama, being a beneficiary of SWIFT program under KCIC, I can attest to that. They are very inclusive. First, my business is one of those businesses that are women-led. So that was one of the major factors maybe they considered. And I would add on to that and to say they are very friendly, and they look at your business, they don't generalize your issues. They will look at your business specifically. You need this and this and this. They have given us training, mentorship, and exposure, and even now access to finance. They are able to fund you to get whatever you want, maybe equipment or machineries. Right. So my closing remarks will be, Trevor, I would urge both the county government and the national government to embrace recyclers. Before they import things from other country, why not consider the things of the same type that are being manufactured here in Kenya, using the waste. So to give, mine would be to give recyclers a chance. Okay. Give local entrepreneurs a chance. Thank you so much for making time this evening, and thank you all for speaking to us. Dr. Nelson Mara, CECM, Water, Environment, Energy, Climate Change and Natural Resources, Nakuru County. Joseph Kopejo, NEMA County Director of Environment at Nakuru County. Christine Babu, Program Manager, KCIC. Cynthia Wairimu, Co-Founder, Texas Waste Papers. And all of you for the conversations and for welcoming us here in Nakuru. We've had an absolutely amazing time, and thank you all for sparing time and speaking to us here. By the way, log into the KCIC website, check out the SWIFT program, see if you're eligible. When the calls are out there, give your ideas there. You might get funding, and so that we all together rise and create waste management and make money out of it. Waste to wealth. All right, that's where we leave it for now. My name is Trevor Mbija. It's always a pleasure having you, all of you here with us, and for all of you to speaking to us right on the Monday Report live from Nakuru County. We say good night and God bless.